Do you love Diablo but hate what Blizzard has done to it? Do you love Destiny but hate what Bungie has done to it? Do you love mindlessly running into instances and mowing down wave after wave of evil minions for a measly 1% permanent additive power increase? Armatus may be for you. Armatus is developed by Counterplay Games, responsible for such games as Godfall. You know, Godfall. Never heard of it? Yeah, me neither. It's the only other game they've made, so I'm definitely reviewing that later. The plot is thus. The rapture happened and God has abandoned you, but you were in France, so basically nothing's changed. Demons are prowling the street and you wield the might of God in America with reckless abandon and zero moral ambiguity, so let's dive in. The intro cinematic has the plot, but we've already gone over that. There's really not much more of it to explore in this demo. Right off the bat, I noticed a bunch of blurring issues, especially on clothing and areas where shadows converge, like this railing in the first instance. Raising the shadow settings makes it a lot better, but it also tanks the performance down to hell. A consistent problem I had in this demo is the lack of optimization and basic graphical issues that are really hard not to notice. During my first run, I tried to improve this by going into the settings and discovered what may be the worst menu design choice I have ever encountered. The FPS limiter can be used to preserve PC performance. You can set it to anything you like, but it functions by treating the unlimited FPS option as 0. That means that to start the counter, you have to press it on the right and start from 1. But the limiter applies immediately after you press it, not after you confirm it. This persists even if you close the client or delete the game. However, even though you only have to click it once to change the FPS to 1, you actually have to click and drag the slider to increase the FPS afterwards, and the reset to default button does not reset the FPS limiter, which is an objectively terrible design choice. Standard shooter controls along with sprinting and jumping. The sprint action tends to have a weird delay that prevents it from feeling very responsive, and you cannot press it again to stop sprinting. There's no tutorial for the basics, they expect you to know what you're doing. There's also a dodge button which applies iframes, and this cool melee scythe attack with a short cooldown. After the first run, you have the choice of 4 different weapon archetypes, but honestly, a gun's a gun. Pull the trigger and things die. Use LB to activate the alternate fire mode, which can be a grenade launcher, flamethrower, or anything in between. The fun part is in the abilities and upgrades you can acquire during a run. Each run consists of separated areas containing a set amount of enemies, minor upgrades, and challenges. Kill all the enemies in the room, step into the portal, and get granted a boon from this stylistic totem of creepy arms reaching out of the ground. Boons can be extra abilities, weapon upgrades, or improved stats, each separated into the different categories of celestial glyphs, weapon glyphs, and augments, respectively. Walking up to the different gates shows you the different type of upgrades the next boon will grant, and it highlights the gate you're about to enter super smoothly. This is easily one of the most impressive interfaces I've seen. You can also check out your current boons at any point through the menu. Once again, the game will not tell you this. One of the first boons players will get is the Celestial ability. Super strong abilities that can be anything from a massive ground slam to even slowing down time. These abilities use energy, which is gained by dealing damage to enemies. Keep killing, and eventually we're met with a greater demon boss. He raises pillars that slow you, summon minions, and most of our bullets get blocked from the front by the massive stone toilet seat around his neck. If you step out of the way while he's dashing, he'll break the pillars, freeing you to move around. Keep shooting him in the back of the head, and he'll open up to a finisher. And that's the demo. Now, the verdict. As a game, Armatus feels good to play. Shooting, dodging, managing the different enemies all feels good, but I think the difficulty may be lacking. You're given a healing item, but in 4 runs, I never actually needed to use it. I don't think that's a matter of enemies lacking damage as much as it is the combat AI. Enemies move quickly, but their attack windups tend to be slow in melee. Lock-on attacks take a long time to charge up, and they never really filled me with a sense of urgency. I think the flying enemies and the flaming demons probably had the best timings of all the NPCs I faced. And the boss fight was pretty good, although I would have liked the option to zoom the camera out a bit further for the larger arena. Game menus are well placed and designed. The way the interface interacts with the gameplay is buttery smooth. You have pop-ups that appear when you encounter a new subject, but nothing reviews the basic controls, the boon menu, or the weapon selection options, which would have been helpful on my first run. To add to that, the transition between the weapon selection screen before a run start and the other menus is accessed by moving left and right instead of pressing the input tied to back or return, which is confusing. The FPS limiter issue is a cardinal sin, and no game should ever be allowed to launch with that. A player will encounter that problem and quit. If you want proof, that player is me. The art design of the armor and weapons are beautifully stylized, but the color scheme is all very samey. The environment colors are muted and unremarkable. There's also a lack of responsiveness to anything the player can actually do. No secret interactable items that explode and reveal secrets, no secret pathways. It's all very linear and predictable. Dive in, shoot demons, upgrade, repeat. The graphical optimization is clearly lacking, and I don't have much faith these days in studios cleaning up performance issues prior to launch, but maybe I'll be surprised. Specifically, the blurring issues on lower graphical settings, lighting issues, and horrid frame drops in specific zones. I'd appreciate them taking the time to look into this and improve artifacts that may be eating up additional resources. If you love running gauntlets, gunning down hordes of demons, and gun-shaped stuff, then this will probably be the game for you. All things considered, it was pretty fun. Armatus is definitely the Destiny of Diablo. Out of 10. If you like our content, do me a favor and drop a like and sub. It helps promote my page more than anything. I'm just a part-timer and don't have sponsors, so every boost really does help. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.